We've got over 500 vehicle tests on this channel, and almost all of them have headlight tests, so if you want to see how the lights on your vehicle work, this is the right place to be. This Genesis has been sitting here for a while. Let's take a closer look, see what's going on. Interesting. It says Genesis on the trunk. Genesis wheels. The steering wheel says Hyundai. And a Genesis emblem on the hood, which has probably been in better shape. Far better shape. Looks like that engine was in better shape at one time as well. We're in our garage and test facility to see what we're rolling out today. Looks like we got ourselves a nice Genesis, one of my favorite brands, very underrated vehicles. Very nice brown metallic paint too. Looks pretty sharp. Nice looking from this side as well. Definitely looks expensive, even though it really isn't. We'll look at that price tag a little bit later. And these are the optional 19-inch wheels. I think they look pretty nice myself. Although I like them better if they didn't have the emblem on the hub there, but well. One thing I like about Genesis vehicles is the sturdy bodywork. You go to a Japanese luxury car, regardless of the price, they have this thin beer can sheet metal. Not here. More like a solid German car. That's what I like. The top of the line engine is a V6 turbo putting out 375 horsepower. We didn't get that. Instead we got this 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. But it puts out a whopping 300 horsepower thanks to a turbo. I'm kind of reluctant to get this engine because normally if you put a small turbo engine in a big heavy car like this that weighs 4,200 pounds, they become overworked, guzzles a lot of fuel, but maybe not in this case. According to the sticker, 23 in the city, 32 on the highway, and 26 overall, which is a lot better than the V6, which I remember was 19 to 26 overall, the last one I had anyway. Pretty good fuel economy if you can get it. We'll find out when we do our road test. And since I have this sheet out, let's take a close look at the price and see how much this vehicle costs. There's an awful lot of standard equipment. Let's go down the list. Here's a second row. But as always, we have extras over the $47,700 price tag. The advanced package, $4,600. Oh yeah, $400 for this nice paint. You didn't think you were going to get that for free, did you? Then the Prestige package. You know you need that. Presto, $58,025. And yes, if you get the bigger V6 engine, this will cost you more. But for what it's worth, it's made almost entirely in Korea. That's worth a few bucks extra. They do good quality work over there. And it has not been rated for the crash test, but I don't worry about stuff like that, do you? If you want to see how the G80 compares to the Lexus LS500 luxury sedan, we did a test and video on that. We'll have a link for that at the end of this video. We'll also have a link for the Genesis G70, a smaller version of the G80. 2 videos worth looking at. And one of the first things we do when we get a vehicle is take the headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. Looks like a double-decker setup. I think we got 4 bulbs on each side. Alright, it's dark enough. Let's see what these headlights do. Look pretty bright to me. And this is the low beam setting. And now it's on high. And when you come near the car, the Genesis emblem lights up to remind you what you're driving. And here's what the rearview camera looks like in the dark. We have various settings. That's a nice one. Let's see what else it does. And here we have the low beams, only about 100 feet away, very bright, decent height, high beam. Looks pretty strong to me. And We have the brights on a fence 80 yards away. The building behind is 130 yards away. Go low beam. Barely reaches out. And all the controls light up pretty good. No complaints there. Overall, these are pretty good headlights. No complaints from me. And the second thing we do is check and see if there's a spare tire. Yep. This particular vehicle is rear-wheel drive, but you can order these in all-wheel drive if you're driving on wet roads with snow, sleet, ice. That would come in handy, but out here in the desert, we don't need all-wheel drive. I'm satisfied with just having two-wheel drive. Let's take a look at the cabin, and since we ordered all the luxury toys, should be pretty impressive. It's hard to tell fake wood from real wood nowadays, but according to the paperwork, this is real wood, so alright. Looks nice. One of the first things I noticed is we don't have a stick shift on the transmission. That's fine. I don't like stick shifts. They're obsolete. They get in the way, take up lots of room. You have to put them manually in park every time you turn the vehicle off. With this knob, you don't have that problem. It doesn't take up any room. When you turn the ignition off, it automatically goes into park. Two features right there. The only disadvantage, you have to take your eyes off the road to see what gear you're in, versus a push button, which is far superior because it's touch feel. You don't have to look at it when you're operating the push button. But still, this is a pretty nice system. It's far better than the stick shift. My only cause of concern, you have a cup holder here, and if you spill your coffee and it goes down the crack, then what happens? I don't drink in a car, so it isn't going to affect me, but if you do, I'd be careful if I was you. And here's the controller for the infotainment system. One thing I like about this system, if you don't like it, you don't have to use it, because we also have a touchscreen mode. Yep. That's all you got to do. On a lot of other brands, you can't bypass the control stick or touchpad, but on this one you can. Comes in real handy when you're programming the radio for your favorite station. A very, very nice system. On this very wide screen, 14.3 inches if my memory serves me correct. A lot of stuff here. A learning curve. And the camera system looks pretty nice in the daytime. I do wish the car manufacturers would stop putting the shiny chrome stuff in vehicles. It reflects the sun right in your eyes sometimes, and very annoying, but not much I can do about it now. The climate controls, very simple to use. Decent room in the glove box. A nice gauge cluster with a little bit of glare reflection, but nothing serious. And by the way, fuel economy wise, I've been driving pretty hard the first 34 miles, doing 0-60 runs and things like that, so 17.2 mpg is what I've been getting this far, but this is not normal driving. We'll be doing that later on in the test. So don't go away. Oh, almost forgot. We got paddle shifters. And they're on the steering wheel where they belong, not on the steering column like the Italians do, which is a stupid place to put them, for reasons I've explained before. And we get the drive mode button too. Comfort, Sport, Eco, Custom. Take your pick. Alright, first half of the video is over. Second half, we're going to do some driving. I'm not a fan of this power steering setup. It's very vague and rubbery. No feel or feedback, but that's what a lot of people want in a luxury car, so perhaps they'll be happy. As we do all of our videos, we're going to take some speed humps at 15 miles per hour, see how the suspension performs on impact. Bump number 1. Pretty smooth. Number 2. Number 3. And the nasty one. pretty smooth again. Very comfortable and quiet car. I think this is going to be great for long trips. According to the spec sheet, this little 4-cylinder turbo puts out maximum torque around 1650 RPM, give or take. And I believe it because this thing moves out great. It's got a lot of guts. 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds. Smooth and quiet. Nice brakes. The main competitor with Genesis are Japanese brands like Lexus and Infiniti. I can tell you, if you put a Lexus or Infiniti badge on this, you wouldn't know the difference. You know a difference in price, though. This is a very sweet driving machine and very well put together. One feature I forgot to mention, the outside mirrors have cameras, so when you turn on the turn signal, you can see what's out there without turning your head, like so. Nice feature to have. We're going to reset the mileage computer, take a highway trip. Try to rack up at least 120 miles if we can. This Genesis G80 is a fantastic highway cruiser. Very smooth, quiet, and solidly well built. Very solid body structure. I would match this vehicle against any Japanese or European sedan in the same class, without a doubt. And the engineers did a very nice job on the suspension. Didn't cut any corners. This little 2.5-liter turbo is a fantastic engine. I can't believe all the power it's got. Acceleration is no issue. However, we still don't know what the fuel economy is, and that's going to be the key. Can we get near 30 miles to the gallon as claimed? If we can, then I'm going to give it an A+. If not, well, we'll see. Well, we did it. Cruising at 75 miles per hour, doing a lot of passing. Still got 31.1 mpg. I'm very, very impressed. Well, with this great fuel economy we're getting, I guess I won't need to fill up any gas here at the local station, but doesn't seem to be anybody home anyway. We're going to take a return highway trip this evening, and I have two advantages. Number one, traffic is light, so I won't have to do any passing. Number two, it's rather cold outside, so I won't be running the air conditioning. That should reduce the drag on the engine. I'm hoping for 35 miles to the gallon, but we'll see. Alright, that's the end of our trip, approximately 100 miles. Let's pull over and see what our fuel economy was. There you go, folks, 96.5 miles, 1 hour, 17 minutes of driving, so we weren't babying it, and 34.4 mpg. And I forgot I had it in the sport mode, which makes it even more impressive. This is one of the most impressive 4-cylinder engines I've ever driven. Somebody definitely did their homework. The accordability of the G80 is very good. Remember, this is a luxury barge, made for comfort, not taking corners like a sports car. So slow down a bit and enjoy the ride. And putting it in sport mode stiffens up the steering, makes it more pleasant to use, by the way. I love the passing power of this engine. This thing moves. Earlier I complained about shiny chrome-like finishes and interiors, and here's an example. It's just after lunchtime and this is glaring right in my eyeball. Car manufacturers, you need to quit making shiny chrome finishes. We're not amused by shiny objects. Well, it's time to wrap up this video. So after a week of driving, what's my opinion of this Genesis G80? Well, number one, do not underestimate this little 2.5-liter four-banger. Even though, personally, I think it's kind of sacrilegious to put a 4-cylinder car in a vehicle this big, I changed my mind on this one. This is a fantastic little motor. Very strong, quick, with excellent fuel economy, smooth, quiet, zero complaints from me. And number two, to offer a vehicle like this less than $60,000 is an amazing accomplishment. Definitely worth the money and a great bargain. This had a Japanese or European nameplate. It'd be 15 or 20 grand more for sure. A lot of people ask me how the Koreans can offer a better car for less money. Are they using less quality or substandard materials? Not at all. There's a little secret in the car industry, and the fact is the difference between a $30,000 car and a $60,000 car might be $30,000 retail. But from the manufacturer standpoint, it'll cost about 3 to 5 grand more to make a $60,000 car or a $30,000 car. The rest is all profit. So it's not a matter of Genesis charging too little, it's a case of the other competition charging too much. You're paying for a name. That's about it. Bottom line, if you're looking for a nice luxury sedan and don't want to pay outrageous prices, this vehicle might be for you. Here's some videos of other luxury rides we've had and done videos on. Just click and watch.